Hello, it's Mazzy. This is an addendum video. I don't do these very often, but when I make a mistake and when I omit something that's, to me, crucial to the story, this is one of those videos. I very recently made a video on Bjork and Beck, two of the most adventurous artistic artists of the last 30 years. And there's two albums that I actually spoke about and recorded, and I inadvertently cut them out during the editing process. So I am going to talk about these two records here. This is the informational homogenic video. I'm going to call it something like that. I'm not quite sure. One album by Beck and one album by Bjork. So let's talk first about this Beck album, The Information. This is from 2006. This is produced by Nigel Godrich. Now, Nigel Godrich and Beck collaborated before on Mutations and Sea Change. So Mutations is the one I spoke about that's very, very British-centric, very much like those 60s records of Bowie and Syd Barrett and, that early Pink Floyd, as well as Ray Davis, and with some sitar Eastern folk action to it, just really pop, really wonderful singer-songwriter. The Sea Change obviously is that moody record, but The Information kind of started out almost like a hip-hop record, and this is sort of a mid-tempo for the most part. I think The Information's the most upbeat song on here, but this has got a great groove to it, and it's like folk hip-hop, acoustic hip-hop. What I said in that other video, and I really love about Beck, is how a lot of times his original layers seem to be acoustic guitar work, and then he expands on them, whether he adds a funk or electronic, even banjo occasionally, as in Midnight Vultures and a little bit on this record. So there's some hip-hop elements to it, again, but it's a mid-tempo. It's got a great groove to it. And at first, I remember when I saw this cover, this is basically your standard graph paper. I do not have a vinyl version. I don't think this has been reissued. It probably came out limited at the time in vinyl in 2006, but this is what you get. You get a piece of graph paper, okay? But then you can make your own cover. How cool is this? Look at this. You get these like color form type stickers, and you can put this groovy artwork together. Look at that. You got Beck, you got guitars, you got escalators, man, up, going down. You got, logos and just cool friggin' stuff. What is this? You got a horse being mounted by another horse, Mr. and Mrs. Ed. They're probably not even married here. But you got dental work, but this is actually a cool record. There are some electronic EDM type effects, sounds mixed in here, some quirkiness. This is this particular copy is the deluxe edition, as I recall, that is a second disc of remixes. So anyway, I omitted this in that video, The Information by Beck from 2006. This is one that is long overdue also, like Midnight Vultures for a vinyl issue. And then there's Bjork's album, Homogenic, from 1997. What a beautiful record. And this record, she started preparing this record. It was going to be recorded in London. It was going to be her third record. And because of some really tempestuous situations, which I'm not going to get into here, she relocated and recorded this record in Spain and set up home and recording sessions in Spain. This is such a mixed album in a really wonderful way. Of course, her layered vocals, again, as usual, trip-hop feel to it, and again, this great orchestration. What I referred to in that last video, again, if you haven't seen that, I'm going to link it below, that first video that really puts together and collects all these records by Bjork and Beck, at least most of them. She brings in Emir Deodato, the great composer, arranger, who was on CTI for many, many years in the 70s, had that wonderful hit of 2001, A Space Odyssey, also Sprach Zarathustra, the great jammy kind of electronic Fender Rhodes keyboard thing, and he's done some great arrangements and orchestration for things. So he kind of translated her vision for the string section. She brings in a Icelandic octet to play the string parts on this. There's some videos all over YouTube about this, but this is a fantastic record. It's got a great groove to it. It's got a great, I keep using the word ethereal and spacey, but again, the melodies and the hooks are there. She always, you know, despite when she gets away from the classic pop traditions of her music, she still brings in those hooks, and then she goes in various tangents, and that's what makes it really interesting. But Homogenic, a wonderful record by Bjork from her third record, and I feel just crushed that I left these two really cool records off that first video. Again, two great artists, two of the greatest adventurous artists in the last 30 years that just continue to move within pop circles, but work it in different tangents. Again, not the same type of music at all, but occasionally they cross over in similar territories. So check that other video. The link is below. This is the shorter one. Maybe this is the teaser for that one. But again, thank you for watching, and Mazzy loves you. And you can see me over there with wearing no hat.